Right. Right, let's make a splash. Right. The further you go, obviously the deeper it gets in the middle. You're about 6 foot deep there, I think. 6 to 8 foot deep. Just duck my head down so I can clear the bushes there. Right, so as you can see, it's sand embankments further around. So you come over there's a pathway that brings you up and over the mounds there, and then you can drop down to the water's edge again. I'm just walking along here to show you what it's like around the corner of the river. So the water's coming around this bend and it's getting forced into the middle, and it's created that pebble island in the middle. Just enjoying watching all the swifts and swallows flying backwards and forwards, up and down, round and round. Right, so there you have it, people, a nice place where you can bring your dog for a safe and easy plodge. So you can see where all the water comes right up to here and bring debris right up here as well. Right, so what I'll have to do is go back up there, go further along, and then come up the embankment further over and have a look. Right. Hey, somebody else walking along there now with a spaniel. His tail's got like 20 at a dozen. All dogs are the same. They love to be out off the leader, look. Thoroughly enjoying himself or herself. But once again, this is another popular area where you can bring your dog. But I'm looking for places where I can bring Shelley, my sister, and her dog Jessie, and hopefully take her somewhere that there's hardly any dogs, so she doesn't misbehave herself, growling and want to go for dogs. Right, back up this bank and walk further along the pathway around to the gateway. Right, so there's your viaduct again, looking back. More people coming along with their dogs. Right, so this is the pathway that you just continue around and take you right to the far corner where it meets the fence again, and you go through the gate. I just remember going up one of these pathways up onto the mound and then drop down on the other side on the embankment of the river. So obviously coming this way, going there, on the way back I'll just go straight along that pathway there on the wire fence and then go back underneath the viaduct there and start heading back towards the car and then up the bank. So there's got to be an attraction at this area here, because all these birds are just hanging around here, this one particular spot in this mound. So it wouldn't surprise me if they've all got the nests on the inside of the mound on the other side. Or it's just simply a good place to feed loads of flies and all that coming off the river. Right, so you can see the gateway over there, that's where I'm going to be going, then continue straight on. You can see where all the water's getting pushed over when I'm up on the top of this hill now. But when I'm up high, I'm getting more of the wind blowing in my face now. So obviously you can see where people have gone down there, walk further along, then just come back up onto the bank further along. Right, so I'll go back down here. So normally when it's been raining, this is all clotty, muddy and slippy, so you got to be careful coming up and down these little embankments, otherwise you just go shoom, straight down on your ass. Right, so there's the gate at the far end there. That's where I'm heading for. This embankment here gets battered with all the rising water when it pisses through the rain. That's why it's all falling down into the water and disintegrated. So the pathways will be getting thinner and thinner and thinner as this land collapses. So during the winter, when it's full of rain and snow in winter, and the weight of it just drops off as well after crumbling away over months and months and months. Well, that's why you've got to come back up onto the bank back there and walk along here, because you can't get along here. Look, there's no pathway. Right, so this battery I've got on my camera now that I'm using, with, like I say, with recording in 1080p, 16:9 ratio, 30 frames per second, or whatever it is, 60 frames. I should get a solid 2 hours out this battery, because it was fully charged up before I came up. So that lets me know how long I've been out away from the car as well, roughly. So I've set her from the car at 9:30ish. So obviously 2 hours, 11:30. Then I'll just start heading back, and I've got to go to my sister's on the way back, drop off a handheld vacuum cleaner I've got for her. Right, so I'm still looking around. I'm looking to see if there's any sheep in the fields here. There's none in this one, there's none in that one, and there's no fence there where the road is, but it looks like there's sheep. There's sheep in that field, the next one up, going up the hill, but we wouldn't be going that far, so the dog won't see them to run over. because we're going along here. This is just very vaguely coming back to us like this bit. Well, the main path you can see goes along the wire fence there back to the viaduct over there, look. Let's have a look. Just looking for sheep. Right, none. Right, so I was right over there with that man's walking along there now, just after coming through the viaduct. He's got a dog walking 50 yards behind him. So, like I say, you can bring your dog, let them off, do a bit running backwards and forwards in front of you and coming back. That's the whole point of bringing your dog out, away from the towns and cities, so you can give them some exercise. This gate's a bit knackered. So obviously, if you go along these kind of pathways, you're in an enclosure, so there's wire fence in there, so they cannot really run anywhere. They've got the water on the left hand side and the wire fence on the right. And like I say, it's a lot long since I've been along here. Right, so this is what takes you down onto the grassed area, and as you walk further on, you come across the place where you had to cross over, like a stream coming in. And if you couldn't get over there, that's when you had to come back and walk up the track there, the main track, to get you further on. It's all coming back to us now. But once again, this is an ideal place to let him off, because you just run ahead, charge up, get out of breath and then start coming back. And you can see the big pathway going along on the other side there. So where you're looking at the pylons with all the power lines going across, that's obviously going up towards the village of Tudhoe, which is up the bank there. I used to go along to Tudhoe and have a look at the pathways going down the river from there as well, and some of them were just absolutely thick with mud and thick with water. Terrible. Right, so I'm walking parallel with the main track now, which is just the other side of this mound. Where the water used to come along the channel, where you had to cross over water, people had put a couple of planks across it to help you get over the ditch, but I think they got swept away when the water rising with that much rain. I remember walking so far, and when I got to that point where I couldn't get across because the planks had gone missing and it was too wide and too running fast to get across, so I had to double back to this like privet trees there. There's a little metal gate goes through it, so I had to come back to that, go through, get on the road track and then continue with my journey to get further up the river. Right, so they're going to be walking right up the river way on that side. See, if you look at the sky, it's all like a grey. It looks like the clouds are full of water. But I don't want to mention the droplets that come down because I'll jinx myself. So once again, another open field where you can let the dog off and they're going racing along. There's no sheep. If any sheep, they're over there, right up the bank, so you're alright. Right, so there's that guy with those two dogs that passed me earlier. He's right run there, look. This is a good stretch to let him up because you can see for quite a distance if anyone's coming at you, other dogs, you can call him back and put him on his leader until you get past. I'm trying to remember what the bodies of water is. I don't know if it's like where the water rises up from the river and just comes along channels. They've made separate channels where you've got to try and get across to continue water along the edge of the river. But where there's a person there with a red coat on, that's up there on the main road walking along. Is that the metal gate there? So I went up there, and where that man's coming back with the collies, if you can't go any further, I came back along that path there and I went through a gate and got onto the main road track to go along. So I continue. He must be lucky with the two collie dogs there. Chocolate coloured Labrador. He's disappeared, he's gone out the way, so the gate, I wonder if the gate's just up here somewhere. Hi son, come on in. How come on in, going to come and say hello? Come on in. Come on, there you go and say hello. Hey, good boy. Excuse me, are you local?
Yeah.
Do you know these walks quite good?
Yeah.
I came here in 2018, I think it was, and I went so far up this pathway, and then you got so far up, and it must be like a water inlet that you come in and you end up having to go over planks to get across the water inlet to go further on.
Alright.
So I think I remember I got so far and I couldn't get across one day. It was so like high and wide, you couldn't wade across. So I'm sure I came back along here, went through a gate there on the road,
Right.
so I continue with the journey. So I'm just wondering if you know it, this area.
Didn't.
We don't know it that
All right,
well,
okay.
so we're just kind of exploring ourselves this morning.
Right, that's
So
exactly
just
what I'm doing.
See where we end up.
Yeah, see if I can bring the XL bully and learn them off just like that.
Oh,
I've got to travel for miles, man. I can try and find places where you can let the dog off.
I know, but it's a nightmare, especially when you've got to keep them muzzled.
Well, I won't. I never ever will put a muzzle on a dog. Never. Come on in. How you going? I've had dogs all my life. I've had
This is little Vinny.
How are you, Vinny? Come on, are you going to come and say? Come on, come and say hello. How are you? I'm not frightened of dogs.
He's just a bit shy.
It's the it's probably the cap.
She's not.
It's the cap as well. Yeah, dogs. Some dogs don't like guys with caps on.
Aye, well, we'll probably see you later on.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy
your
it. Yeah. Well, you walk right up on that side and go towards Tudhoe, and come back along as well.
Yeah, we'll see where we end up.
Well, as long as it's dry, touch wood.
See you later.
Turn on out. Enjoy your day. There's a woman walking along on the main road pathway. Right, there's something white in the river just down there to the left. I don't know if it's swans bending over, it's just white painted rocks. The dogs just that'll be exactly what bears like. You'll be going in and out the water, backwards and forwards. Can I get them with the water? Right, I'll just keep looking over to the right to see if I can see where the metal gate is. I think it's behind these two big bushes, because you can see where the path curves around and goes into there. So that's probably it. And there's a pathway cutting off from this one to go over there as well. So it's got to be there between those two big high bush type trees. It's just white rock sticking out the water. It looks like swans, you know, how they turn around, put their head on their backs. That's what it looked like. Now if you go up in the far corner there, it's all fenced off and there's a house at the top, so you can't go that way. So that's why you go, there's the gate. I knew I could remember a metal turnstile gate. So that's what you've got to do if you can't get past it where the water channel is. You come back to this gate, get on the road, go up and round the back of the house and then continue on. Then there's a track brings you back down to the water's edge. It's a bit of a diversion like, but it's doable if you really want to walk along right along the river weir or a long day out. But when I did my explorations on the maps, I found places where you could come along the A690 from Neville's Cross and then drive down the road into the main car parking area. I can hear people talking, so they're coming along the other back of those trees there. Right, so if you look on the other side, you can see where the pathway is coming off the top of the mound and it's dropping down there where the sand area is. We can continue right along. Right, it's just where those people are now. That's the area where you've got to get across like a river, pool, or is it just here? Because I can see the pathway going up the hill on the other side. It's just here, this water channel. Yeah, this is it. You drop down, go up the bank on the other side.